Okay, let's get started. I'm going to show you how to find Crown land on Ontario's Crown Land Use Policy Atlas. Yeah, you can get Crown land all across Canada, but I live in Ontario and that's the Crown land I use to camp on, so I'm just going to use that. So when we were here in the winter, it was a tough hauling in, so we actually camped in the swamp right over there. We went down to the lake later. So different seasons, eh? Whew. Oh, look at this. This is so beautiful. All right, so first of all, spell Ontario right, Kevin. It's a good thing you're not a writer or anything. Oh! All right, so there you go. You got that. And then you'll find Crown Land Use Policy Atlas, ontario.ca. So click on that. Once you Google that. Then you go down here, it says use the Crown Land Use Policy Atlas. Yes, I want to do that. So I'm going to click this blue box. Now this site is really slow because there's tons of information on it. That's why it's so slow. So if you have a poor internet or bad computer, it's going to take a lot longer. All right, but I accept. Yes. Now I tend to just want to get rid of that because I don't need that. Okay. So here is Ontario. We found it. We found the road. We think. Here is all the Crown land, and you're like, okay, oh my gosh, that's a lot of information, Kevin. So what you do is you go up to Map Layers, right up here, click on Map Layers, and then you want to go to Legend. Okay. Now look at this. This is why people are like, oh my Lord, this site is insane, and it is actually. It's just a lot of work, really difficult to read because it doesn't say Crown land. It says Conservation Reserve, Enhanced Management Area, Forest Reserve, on and on and on. It's all Crown land. It's just different types of Crown land. The one that usually people are looking for to camp on and fish on and hunt on is General Use Area. Okay, so that's the one, that color there. What color would that be? Light yellow? I wouldn't say light yellow. Well, it's that color right there. I think we passed the road. I'm kind of lost.
Isn't this all part of the Crown Land experience,
This is all part of the Crown Land experience, but I don't remember that lake at all. I think I have to go back to that.
An ocean,
Yeah, I think it was that first one.
a dream that no one could save, a shelter, a whole act, a light that died with the night. You and I, we got our differences, yet I thought we were more alike than unlike. Months of rain and chest pain, what's the plan? Heavy breathing, stay insane. Grab my hand. Everything is great inside this narrow maze.
The dog is in poison ivy, so don't pet it.
Oh, okay, good to know.
But Conservation Reserve is a type of Crown land. Basically, it's an area that has unique species living there, a unique habitat that needs protected. So it has a different protection to it than actually general use area. Forest Reserve, well, they can cut it. A forestry company can go into that Crown land and cut it. Provincial Park, really good. Like, Kevin, why is a provincial park put as Crown land? It's not, it's park. Well, if it doesn't have a management plan, if it's non-operating park, then it's actually basic class of Crown land. Okay. So, finding a place to park, going into Crown land, especially if you've never been here before, is the biggest challenge, I think. And we're going to go down this trail, see if we can find the lake. It's an adventure. Something like that. Key points. Crown land. You can go on Crown land for 21 days and camp anywhere. You should practice low impact camping, obviously. Leave no trace, obviously. You You can camp there for free if you're a non-Canadian. If you're non-Canadian, if you're a Canadian citizen, you can actually camp for free. If you're a non-Canadian citizen, then it's going to cost you $10 a night. And I'm going to put the link down below to show you where you get that permit. Yeah, but if you're Canadian, it's a free for all. Okay, but after 21 days, you have to move. And why is that? It's just to get rid of squatters' rights. It's getting rid of people just staying on one spot all the time. And that could cause a lot of problems, and has caused a lot of problems in some areas. Overuse, right? So you have to move at least 100 meters away from that site. All right, I'm blabbing on here, but those are good points to know about Crown land.
This is one wet trail. Holy shit! Look at this. Lovely. Oh no. Oh, we can get around that.
Yeah.
I don't know about the canoe, but...
All right. We're going to zoom in here, and I'm going to start off by just showing a conservation reserve and a provincial park before I get to the general use area, just to show you that, oh yeah, you know, before I do that, I'm going to show you something really cool. If you live in southern Ontario and you're looking for Crown land, you got to go north, man. At least north of Kawarthas. I mean, the further north you got, the more Crown land there is. There's actually the Ontario, the province of Ontario, 87% of its landmass, water mass, whatever, or 87% of Ontario is Crown land, made up of Crown land. But look at southern Ontario. What is southern Ontario? Gray here, right down here in the legend. Private land. Private land. Look at that. There's not a lot of Crown land in southern Ontario, so you got to move north to go camping and fishing and hunting and stuff like that. There's also First Nations reserves and national parks and things like that. So, right. So you can't camp on the gray area.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Yeah. We're at a fork in the trail here. We don't remember what we did last time. I see the lake though. I think we went right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going right too.
That's where the dog went anyway. It's not like a Algonquin where the portage is marked for you. That's okay though.
All right. So I'm going to go up to show you a provincial park and a conservation reserve before I go into the general use area. I'm going to go. That's how long it takes. I'm going to take you to a place I was at just about a month and a bit ago with my buddies, Naganosh. It's a non-operating provincial park. I think it's going to be operating soon, though. They were marking campsites in there last time I was there, so that's all new. So that might all change. But yeah, Naganosh, you go in from Pickerel by Esnarrows, go down into Smoke Lake, Naganosh Lake, Mud Lake. This is where we were working on that lost portage, if you watched that video I did a few weeks back, right here. And it is a non-operating park, so it's basic Crown land.
Yeah?
So far, look, there's flagging tape here.
Yeah.
There's a beer can there.
Oh, wow, you found a beer can.
Look straight up,
Yeah.
right?
Always a beer can will mark the portage.
But right across from there, from Kelsey Lake to Island Lake, is actually a conservation reserve. So, in theory, let's see. I want to know where I camp and can I camp in this non-operating park of Naganosh. So that's how you do this. There's a number there in that area. Gotta wait for a bit.
Here's the lake. What's the name of the lake?
Well, the first rule of Crown land camping: don't say where you're Crown land camping.
This number here. And what you do is you go into Find Information, Get Land Information, and there's a way to actually type this code in and find it, but this is a lot easier. you click this button, okay? Select a point on the map to get land use information. Well, that's what I want to do. I want to find out about this part here, all right? Then it tells me, oh, look, Naganosh Lake Provincial Park, Waterway Class Park, and the size of it, the district. But you can do French, but I'm going to do English. All right, and then it shows you all this information about it, tons of information about it.
Angel? Angel? Why not? This is how the pros do it.
But I don't want to know this one here. This is the forest reserve. What do they got to say about that? It tells you, look at this, the activity you're allowed to do there in that area. So this just shows you a description of the area, the intent of the area, the management direction of the area. That's interesting. Peat harvesting. Extraction, that's okay, wow. Whether there's cottages there, whether there's going to be more cottages, whether you can actually put a hunt camp there, whether there's hunt camps allowed now, on and on and on and on and on. But what we're looking for us being campers is Crown land recreation, yes. And this again is why this is confusing. Who would know that that meant camping? I wouldn't know that. But yeah, basically that means I can camp anywhere I want in that area for 21 days and then move on. Okay?
So this is what happens on Crown land. Yeah, you can camp for 21 days wherever, but you want to find a site, and we found a site. But this is the one corner of the lake that the map, the atlas, Crown land atlas shows that it's private land, just this one bit, and a trail goes to it. It's just this really nice site. So I'm not sure, do we take the chance? So I don't think we should take the chance. So we're gonna look for another bush site. Angel thinks we're staying though. Okay, it was worth scouting more. There's a point on the other end, kind of an island, but, well, it's a point that looks like an island. And I go, there's gotta be a site up there. And there is a spot right on top here that people haven't used for a long time, but yeah, and no trail to it, so we got our own little island. Beautiful lake, like look at that. Beautiful lake, really Turkish Turkish, turquoise water, really clear water. And supposedly it has rainbow trout in it. And maybe we'll go out and see if we can catch a trout.
So you got a non-operating park, you got a forest reserve. So let's just go over to the conservation reserve. Oh, look at that. We got some private land here. Okay, if I went in to private land, so there must be a hunt club there, a hunt camp there. Oh, it actually says that it doesn't apply but to the Crown land policy, basically because it's private land, obviously, so it's not going to give you that information. But yeah, you can't camp there. Do not camp there. So basically, you can paddle into Island Lake, and anywhere you see that green, or you see this area, kind of, what is that, tan colored, or the non-operating park area, you can camp, okay? Well, let's look at this. So this is Crown land we're looking for. So if I go back to map layers, okay, legend, general use area. And this is where it gets like, okay, like look at all this area I can camp in, but I can't camp here. So just keep note of that, all right? This is private land. And here's where it gets complicated. Yeah, you can camp there, but how can you get to it? Where to park? All right, that's where it gets really complicated because these maps don't tell you that, okay? They'll tell you what land it is, and you can actually put your GPS coordinates on these quadrants. But you got to do more research. Okay, so to really highlight this general use area, this yellowish color, instead of all the other areas. I mean, conservation reserves, forest reserves, and unmanaged parks, you can get that information easier than you would for general use area. You can get them in books. Backroad Map book is really good. My Lost Canoe book is really good. Plug. I'm terrible at plug. But yeah, so this yellow area is really what people are questioning about. Like, where is it? What can I do? How can I access it? And things like that. So the easiest way for me to show you is to show you at least one of my secret spots. This is tough. But I'll show you. And actually, a really good anecdote story for this. It's called Adam Lake. It's in the Kawarthas Halliburton area. And for years, when I worked, well, I still work at the School of Natural Resources, but there was a fish and wildlife tech there. And he was to tell me all the stories on the weekend going into this one place fishing for brook trout in the wintertime. And I would tell him, but we'd never tell each other where it was. It was always a secret. And then one day I went into my spot, and there he was fishing on my spot, and he saw me, I saw him, and the area that we've been keeping a secret was the same lake. So it's Adam Lake. All right, so here's Gooderham. All this is private land, right? But this is Crown land. So I believe I go along the 118. There's Adams Lake. There you go. Okay. So Adams Lake. I can go into Adams Lake, and I can fish. I can. Well, you know what? Can I? Can I not? Let's see. All right. Let's go see what we can do there. It's on this lake. Map information. Highlight it there. It's going to tell me what I can do. It's a general use area. It's people Bancroft, okay. And English. So all the activities. And if you're wondering what they can do, yeah, right now, if someone wanted to, they'd have to get a permit and the okay to do it. But it's open for aggregate extraction, mineral exploration, so on and so forth. But that's not what we're looking for. We are looking to see if we can camp there. Crown land recreation. Yes, I can camp there. Okay? Hunt, fish, whatever. So, here's the problem. I know this lake, and there's a portage. I wouldn't say a portage. It's probably an ATV trail now because the ATVers got in there, which is fine. They're allowed to do that. And it comes into here, and this is just ponds, whatever. But there's a campsite there, and I've actually camped over here in the wintertime as well. So yeah, it's pretty short walk in, less than a kilometer, but there's nowhere to park us up alongside the road. And in the wintertime, I'm not doing that in the wintertime. So I have a hard time coming in here in the wintertime. I've actually plowed out an area with a shovel to park once when I'm camped here, but there is a parking area here where I walk in. How I found that spot though is I was just driving by here one day and I saw a car parked there. I'm thinking, what's a car parked there? And it's like a trout stream. So I walked up to the hill and found a trail, walked in and went, oh, there's a lake there. Went fish, caught some brook trout. All right. That's one way to find out what type of fish are there. I'm going to show you another way to find out what fish are there and if there's going to be good fishing or not. Okay. So that was my dog just shaking his head. You okay, Angel? Oh, yes, Kevin, but it's almost dinner time. All right, here we go.
How's the KD?
Almost ready to roll.
Do you need a rainbow trout to put into?
Ooh, that'd be nice. Can you scare one up for us?
No.
Tomorrow morning. Right?
Right. Yes. The world is our oyster.
There you go.
We have the lake to ourselves tonight.
We do. No one else has entered. It's awesome. At our undisclosed Crown Land camping location.
Shh. Look at the wood. Oh, and there's one other advantage of Crown Land, as long as you're ethical, to be quite honest, but we can bring beer. So we did. And we're going to crush them up and take them out. And that's all we brought though, so we have scotch. Whoa, that's fancier.
Told you, man, gourmet.
Holy jumping. That's just not craft dinner, that's
Gourmet. Wow. A loose definition of gourmet. We're stepping it up a notch, irregardless.
that's a lot.
I might be eating this for breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're kind of bushwhacking here, so we're going from one lake into another. We found a trail, a really old trail. I'll show you to you. Actually, Angel found the trail. So we're going to follow it first to see if it goes to the lake. Easy peasy. And maybe come back for the boat. So there's a bit of a trail here. Well, maybe not. And yes, we're wearing red because it's not deer season yet, but a lot of hunters out hunting ducks. I guess that season opened because we heard them this morning. So when on Crown Land or anywhere in the fall, wear something bright. Don't dress in brown, look like a deer. I'm guessing 500 meters before the next lake. I don't see a trail anymore. honest, Tim, we'll do a trip this year that we don't have to look for a portage that doesn't exist. I swear. Oh, thorn needles. Ah, raspberry cane. Ah! I don't think there's a trail. Whew. Fun though. Oh, maybe. No. Yeah?
I think it's just a deer run. I think it's following.
What was that?
I think it was just a deer run.
Yeah.
Hey, it's getting us through though. This is the right direction, right?
It is.
Yeah, I think we're just on a green trail.
Well, we found it. It's marked. Look. Yeah. Not at all where we thought it would be. Yeah. I don't know if this is the trail to where the boat was, but it is something.
Well, this goes somewhere, right?
Okay. Follow the trail. Come on, dog. Oh. Coral fungus. Cool.
That's a little bigger than a puddle.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, that looks like a bass lake. Yeah. Cool. I don't know if you can see it more from up that top.
Okay, so to find out what fish are in the lake and when you can fish and if it's good fishing, that sort of thing. I use a bunch of sites, but first I go to the this site here, the Angler's Atlas. So I put in Adams Lake, and it's a private site, it's not a government site. Adams Atlas, and it shows you the lake, Adams Lake. There you go, right where it is. There's Highway 118. That's the trail into it. And scroll down, and it basically gives you a whole bunch of things. So it says fish and brook trout. Okay, so brook trout are in the lake, and you can actually get maps on this site, which I really love. You get depth maps, shows you where it's good fishing. I'm not going to show you where it's good fishing. And you get the topographical section of that area. So that's pretty cool. So I love this site. I use it a lot. And it does sometimes have people say if they caught fish or not and chit chat about it. Sometimes they don't, whatever. But yeah. This is Adams Lake. It is a put and take lake, meaning it's stocked. So fry are put in there every 2 years. And I'll show you how to find out when it's stocked. So you want to know what fish are in the lake? You go to this site, fishonlineontario.ca. Click on that. Oh. Okay, scroll down to this disclaimer. I accept. And you get this. And I can zoom in to each region. Like each of these sections have different regulations and stocking and stuff like that. So I can zoom in to find the lake. I find it a lot easier. Just go to water body name, and I put in Adams Lake. Now there's a lot of Adams Lakes. Obviously, I'm guessing that there's like trout lake. I don't know how many trout lakes there are, but yeah, there's 7 of them. So here's the one here because I know it's in Halliburton Highlands. So I'm going to click on that. All right, and there's Adams Lake, and here's the information. So it shows you the regulations. I'll show you another site that shows you regulations as well, but this will show you what you can and cannot do. So fish, it will tell you just like that other site. Yeah, look, there's brook trout. And yeah, wait a minute. Someone found report of species, largemouth and smallmouth bass. No way, I've never caught any bass in that lake. It's always been brook trout. That's interesting. I don't know anything about that. We're gonna look into it. But this is what I want to do. I want to look into stocking. So this is when it was stocked. So in 2019, the latest time it was stocked was with yearlings. And that's important to know because I'll get rid of this ad here. I don't need that ad. Yearlings, and 1,200 of them were put in. My Lord, 2,800 were put in 2017. So it shows you when it was stocked. When they're yearlings, like, yeah, you don't want to catch a yearling, right? So, well, you could if you wanted to, but you want them a bit bigger. So I have a tendency to go the year after they were stocked. So the ones that survive, and just to let you know, a lot don't survive. Okay, so that might seem like a lot of fish, but you know, disease, predation from loons, mergansers, and things like that. Yeah, so good luck to you. But there are fish in that lake, I know that. Okay, so here is that other site, the Ontario site, that shows you the regulations of that lake. So Ontario Fishing Regulations, Ontario Fishing Regulations Summary, Ontario.ca. I'm going to click on that, and then I go to download PDF. Usually it takes a while. Wow, that was quick. Okay, so I have a Mac. I don't know what you guys have, but this is how I quickly find something. I go to Edit, Find, Adams Lake, and it's in 2 spots. So okay, that's not what I wanted. That's something, nothing to do with Adams Lake, Adams Township. So I go to the next one, and there we go. Okay, Adams Lake shows you where it is. Sure enough, that is the lake I'm talking about. It says it's open all year. Now, why would a brook trout lake be open all year? You would say, well, that's not true in Algonquin. Well, this lake is a put and take lake. So basically, they're raised brook trout they put in there, and yeah, so there is no real closed season on them, and it makes sense. Like, they don't breed naturally, whatever. They're not protected. Blah 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 blah. It also says that live fish may not be used as a bait or processed by use of the bait. The reason why is that, yeah, they don't want to have introduced species. Some people bring in minnows and introducing new species into that lake. So that's against the rules. Yeah, all right, there you go. Cool. And just so you know, this is not the lake that the other video shows you where I am. It's that lake, yeah, you'd have to be on my grave before I told you where that was.
Okay, you know you found the right spot. Look at this.
It's on the menu today.
There's a grill and a pot and a fire pit up in the ridge.
But we must comment, this is a nice, clean, this is a respectful Crownland camping site. Wouldn't you concur?
Oh yeah, no garbage at all.
There's some wood here, but there's no garbage. You know,
Nope.
Stuff hung up out of the way. No food and crap lying around.
Nope. That's because nobody would go what we did to get here.
Somebody would, obviously. I can see why, though. This is a beautiful little lake.
Yeah. So this is really what it's all about. Yeah, I can show you the atlas on the computer. I can show you what species are in the lake on the computer. But it's all time spent. So we came here once in the winter, explored it, came back here in the early fall, explored it, we found another lake, and then we'll come back again, go to this lake, and see what's beyond that. And that's why a lot of people don't, it's so easy for you to find the Crownland, really. It is like a trout hole. Once you find it, and you work really hard to find it, you want someone else not to find it, but you want them to work just as much as you did to find it, not by someone just pointing the way. So what you saw, what we did the last 2 days, is really how you find Crownland.
Hot coffee in the morning. That's what the doctor ordered.
Thank